Hello friends, welcome back to our channel DS Tech Mirror. This is part 20 of our SPFx tutorial series. In today's video, we will see SPFx extension Field Customizer. As discussed earlier, SPFx extensions are of three types. Application Customizer, which is used to create header footers, which has two placeholders, that is the top placeholder and the bottom placeholder. I have discussed Application Customizer in my earlier videos. Second is the field customizer, which is used to customize the fields of your list view. And third is the command set. So in today's video, I will be covering field customizer. So this is the agenda for today's video. In field customizer, we will be covering how to create field customizer, then code your field customizer. I will be explaining you the basic code, that is the out of the box code which we will get when we will create field customizer. Debug your field customizer, how we can debug your field customizer. Deploy the field customizer. So in code your field customizer, I will be explaining you the very simple basic code. I will be creating a separate video for the demo of the field customizer. So let's start with create field customizer. For that, what I will do, I will directly jump into a folder. This is the folder which I have created, part 20 field customizer. In this, what I will do, I will create another folder, let's say code, and now inside this folder I will be creating my field customizer project. For that, what I will do, I will copy this location, I will open the command prompt, and I will move to this location which I have copied, where I want to create my field customizer. I'll say cd change directory, and I have copy pasted the path over here. Then I will press enter. So this is the current location of my project. Over here I will type the first command, that is yo @ Microsoft / SharePoint. Yo @ Microsoft / SharePoint. Then I will press enter. After pressing enter, this command will ask for various inputs from you. So let's wait for that. So it is asking you the very basic simple questions. What is the solution name? I said code. Which baseline package do you want to target? I said SharePoint Online. So I will select SharePoint Online over here. Use the current folder. Do you want to allow the tenant admin the choice? So in this step, it is asking whether you want to allow the tenant admin the choice, whether you want to give the tenant admin the choice to deploy your solution to all the site. I said no, I don't want to do that. Will the component? I said no, I won't be accessing any web APIs. And after that, over here you have to notice that we have to select the second step, that is we want to create the extensions. As of today, in SharePoint framework, we can create three different types of component: web part, extension, and library. So since we want to create the field customizer extension, I will select the extension, I will press enter, and now you can see three different type of extension. So this time I will select field customizer. What is your field customizer name? I will say field customizer introduction, or I will say introduction to field customizer FC, and then I will press enter. Introduction to field customizer description. If you want, you can give any description to your field customizer. Now over here it is asking us which framework would you like to use, no JavaScript framework or React. So guys, over here one thing to notice is that in application customizer, it is not asking us about framework, it is directly creating the application customizer project using no JavaScript framework. But in case of field customizer, it is giving us an option whether we want to choose no JavaScript framework or React. So in this case, I will select the React. Now in application customizer, if you want to use React, then you have to do the entire setup manually, that is creating the component, creating the properties file, all those things which our React project will get created by default. In application customizer project, you have to do it manually. Over here it will automatically give us the React project just in the same way as we are getting for the web parts. So I will explain you the project. So let's wait for the project to get created. So friends, my field customizer project is ready. So now what I will do, I will open it in my Visual Studio Code. For that, I will type the command code space full stop. So now this will open my project in the Visual Studio Code. So if I'll go back to my agenda slide, I can say create your field customizer. Next is the code your field customizer. So what I will do, So now I will explain you the code as well as the solution structure a bit, because the solution structure is same as in case of web part as well as application customizer. So is anything I feel I should explain, so I will do that. So over here you can see this is my solution is the same. So as usual, directly I will move to the source file, and inside that, since I've used React, so you will be seeing a component folder and you will be seeing this TS file, a separate TS file. So I will go to the web part TS file. So this is the important file, or you can say this is the starting file from where a code will get trigger. So in this you can see at the top we have various import is the same like we have in case of application customizer as well as web part. So over here the only difference I can see is over here in import. Over here we can see base field customizer and I field customizer cell event parameter. These are the two libraries which we are importing from Microsoft/SP list view extensibility. So that's the only thing. So these are just the few import statements which by default we are getting. So nothing to worry over here. After that there's an interface, and inside this there's a property called sample text which is optional and it is of type string. After that, this is the important class, or you can say this is the default class, introduction to field customizer. This is my solution name, and now it is getting extended with base field customizer. In case of application customizer it is base application customizer, and in case of web part it is base client side web part. So you can see base field customizer and it is of type this property, introduction to field customizer properties. So this entire code is by default we are getting this code. Now inside this method, or sorry, inside this class, what I can see, there are three different methods. One is the init method, next is the on render cell, and third is the on dispose cell. So on init method is same as in case of application customizer. This is the method from where our code will get triggered, or this is the starting point of our field customizer. Now on init method will get load before my field customizer will get loaded, but after the this dot context and this dot properties will get loaded. Now this dot context, if you are following my video regularly, you must know now this dot context. So this dot context will give me the context of my page. So after my this dot context will get loaded, then only my on init will get trigger. And as I explained you in my application customizer video, we have this dot properties where we can use to get some properties if we want. So after these two objects get populated, then only my on init method will get triggered, but before my field customizer. So this is one important point in case of on init. Or what I will do, I will mention these points in this slide as well, or I'll say important points. I will just make a headline over important points. So first is the field customizer on init. So I will say before field customizer, but after this dot properties and this dot context. So this is one important thing. So whatever the important points which I will feel, so I will keep noting over here, and before the end of this video we will just revise the important concepts. So one is this, another one is field customizer gives option for no JavaScript framework and React, but application customizer only no JavaScript framework. So I am just writing these important concepts in short. Okay, so moving forward, so next method is the on render cell. So now field customizer, using field customizer we will be customizing the fields of my SharePoint list. So I will be selecting some column of my SharePoint list, any single column I will be selecting. So what it will happen, whenever this method will get render for all the cells of my SharePoint list. Let's say I am having a SharePoint list with status column. So I will show you. This is the sample list which I have created. This is first field customizer, first FC is the name of my SharePoint list. So in this I have two column, title and the status column. So project A is 20% completed, project B 40, and similarly there are 5 items. So I will create my field customizer for my status column. So status column has 5 cells, 1 2 3 4 5. So it will render each time for each cell, so it will render 5 times. So this is the very important concept on render cell. Now inside this render cell, you can see now inside this application customizer I can get the value of my each cell. So whenever my field customizer will render for the first cell, I can get the value 20, similarly 40, 35 in my field customizer project or in my code I can get. And how I can do that? Using $event.field value. It's very simple. Dollar and in the curly quotes event.field value, you can get the field customizer value. Moving next is, and at last, third method is the onDispose cell. So this method we will use if you want to free any resources that were allocated during rendering. So dispose, I think everybody must be aware of. So over here we can dispose our events. So now moving next is, now if you guys are following my videos regularly, or if you have watched my video where I have taught you the concepts about React, SharePoint framework development with React, then you must be aware about the my concepts of React. And if you are not, then I will request you to follow my earlier videos, or particularly I think in part 6 I have explained SharePoint framework development with React. So you can watch that video, and then I'm sure you will be comfortable with our React basics. So now next is, over here you can see in on render cell, inside this what we are doing is, in on render cell what we are doing is react.createElement. So we will be from here, my code will move to the component, and my component name is introduction to FC. So over here you can see react.createElement introduction to FC, and from here my code will shift to this component, that is introduction to FC tsx file. And along with that we are passing this property, the text properties. Now next thing is we are passing this sample text. So I will show you from where we are passing this properties, this dot properties. So if I go to the config folder under serve, you can see this properties, sample text, and we are passing this value from. So this value will get passed to my component. So now I will go to the component. So this is my component. So my component, this is the simple plain code which we used to have in the component. We have the render method, we have this class called introduction to FC, and inside this I am having component did mount and component will unmount. So I explained these two methods. These are the default methods which you are having in React: component did mount and component will unmount. And I explained various other methods also in my SharePoint development framework with React video. So you can refer that video for detailed about these various methods. So over here you can see this render method will get triggered once my component will get called. This render method will get triggered, and inside this what I am doing is I am getting this class name style.cell, and inside that's what I am saying, this dot properties dot text. So we will see now what it will do. So guys, this is the simple explanation about the existing code in field customizer. So I will quickly again take you to the entire thing. At the top we have the import statements. These are the simple import. After that I'm having one property interface. In this I'm declaring one property sample text. After that I'm having this class, and inside this I'm having three methods: on init, on render cell event, and on dispose. This on render cell, what it is doing, it is taking my code control to the component file, and inside the component file I have the render method. So that is the actual code flow. And in the render method what I am doing, I will show you directly into the demo, like I will directly show you when I will run the gulp command what this code is doing. So apart from that, all the solution structure remain the same. We have this config folder, the same files I have explained you a number of times now. This node modules folder already explained. This is the SES file which we will use for this styling. So localization file, so everything is the same. So now what I will do, now I will move to the gulp serve. So before that I will move to my agenda slide. So second step was code your field customizer. So I have completed it. So next is the debug field customizer. So for debugging your field customizer, as I explained you, there is no concepts of workbench in case of extension. There's no local workbench and there's no SharePoint workbench. Workbench concept exists only for the SPFx web parts. So over here what we have to do, we will be using this gulp command to debug our code. Now the moment I will type the gulp command over here, so under the config folder I have this serve file. So this file will come into picture, and over here you can see I have this page URL. So I have to change the page URL. So whatever the URL I will provide over here, my field customizer will get loaded on that particular page. So what I will do, I will go and I will copy this URL for me. That is the all items.aspx field customizer. Next, over here there are two places where I have to do it, the default one and the page URL. Sorry. So this is done. After that you can see field customizer internal field name. So over here what it is saying, internal field name I have to provide. This is the ID of my field customizer. I have to provide over here the internal field name, the field name of the list where I want to run this field customizer. So what I will say, in my case it is status. So I will provide the status. You have to provide the internal name. So the internal name for my column is the same, that is status. So now this is done. Now as soon as I will run gulp, so it will open this particular page and it will load my field customizer on this particular column with these properties. So now let's go forward. I will run the control tilt and I will say gulp serve. Now it will take some time and it will open a page at this particular URL. So friends, my gulp server is ready. I can see this reload message and it has opened this page. So I will again copy this URL for you. I will explain you, although I have explained in my previous video in case of application customizer. So I have copied this URL and I will click on load debug scripts. So debug script is loaded. So now if you have noticed, you can see this text got appended with the value, that is the value colon 20, value colon 40. So if you remember, if you go back, so we were this is the sample text and sample text was value. So if you go back, let me just cross it, and this is my TS file. Let me go to the component file. So from the TS file I was passing this value. Over here I was passing this text, and over here I used it. What I said, this dot properties dot text. So this is the React properties text, and I passed it from here. You can see this is the actual flow. This is the property which I created, text. This is the same property over here. So what happened? This is the by default React property which got created. This time in case of field customizer, there is not a separate interface over here. In the same file we have an interface called export interface introduction to FC props. You can see this. So this is the properties interface. Inside this by default we have one property, text. Now in case of this TS file, over here we have this sample text, and what we are doing, before passing it to a component, this is my properties, that is React property, a constant text, and what I did, this dot properties dot sample text. So I pass this value into this and I pass it to the React. So this is how we are passing this dot properties to my React component, and I'm using it over here, this dot properties dot text. That's it. So what I'm doing inside this div cell, that this is my like it will this render method will get rendered for each cell. So on that particular cell I've created a div, and inside this I've given this text, this dot properties dot text. So this is how my code is running over here. You can see. Now if I try to change the text, let me just see what I'll say. I'll remove this dot properties dot text. I'll say DS tech mirror, and I'll control S. I will save my code. Now I will wait for the reload message and I will refresh my page. So you can see this DS tech mirror, but I'm not getting my value. Why I'm not getting my value? Because over here I'm not passing this value. So if I do undo, so you can see this dot properties dot text, from how it is getting this value, because over here we are creating the entire text. In the text what we are doing, this dot properties dot text colon value dollar event dot field value. This is how we are getting the value. $event.field value will give me the value of my that particular cell in the SharePoint list. So this is the complete text, and for you what I will do console log, and you will be seeing the same in the text. Again I will wait for the reload message. So guys, this is a very simple or basic concept. The only thing is you have to remember $event.field value will give you the value of the field. So because you will be using it for various purposes whenever you will create the field customizer. So let me go to F12 in the console. See, value 20. So it got triggered 5 times, render cell. So guys, this is how this is the basic concepts of the field customizer. So I will just quickly again take you what is happening over here is. So guys, these are the basic concepts of the field customizer. Now if you want to debug your code, how you can do it, just press F12, go to the sources, now go to webpack over here, expand this folder. You have to expand your this with dot, and over here you can see source component introduction to. So this is the exact code which we have present in the Visual Studio. So you can debug your code over here what you want. This is the render method, you can debug it, and if you want your TS file, this is your TS file, so you can do it from here. So this is how you can debug your code on render cell. All these methods are present. So guys, till now we have covered code your field customizer, debug your field customizer. So now what I will do, I will present you a very simple demo. Now what we will do, we will change this existing code. What I will do now, let me try. So over here what we are doing, we are just appending a text before the value. So now what I will do, project A is 20% completed, project B is 40% completed. Now the progress we will show with the help of a progress bar. I will create a progress bar for 20. It will show with the help of a progress bar that it is 20% completed. So let's see how we can do that. Now before proceeding with my hands-on, what I want to show you one thing. Over here you can see there is a class called style.cell, and if I go to the SCS file, over here I can see background color inline block, but I am not getting anything over here. So I don't know if there's some issue over here, but why it is happening, but we have to change the existing code, like the out of the box code, a bit to make it work. So what you have to do is, over here you can see this is return div class name. So what you have to do is return, inside the return you have to do like div, you have to create one more div, and this div should come after this one, and I will put everything inside this bracket. So what I will do, I will just cut this code. I have to put inside this return statement, and I will paste everything inside this return. And what I have to do, div class name is equal to styles dot introduction to FC. And now let's see, my gulp server is already running in the background. Now you should see some change. Reload message, I will refresh it. So now over here you can see the background color. Earlier this CSS was not working, although we have not make any modification in the existing code. By default we are getting this code, but this was not working. So guys, if you are trying anything from your hand, so don't get troubled by this. Remember what you have to do, and why it was not working, because you could see inside your SCS file your cell was inside this class introduction to FC, inside this block, and inside this your cell class was there, and over here we were directly using this. So because of that it was not working. So what you have to do, you have to simply create one div introduction to FC, and inside that you have to do everything. And now inside this you will be declaring all your classes, and it will work completely fine. Now inside this I can create any number of divs and any number of classes. So Please remember this is very important because it took me some time to find out why my CSS was not working. So I don't want you to waste your time over this. So to make it work, we have to just create this div. So this is done. So now our CSS will work, otherwise it was not working. So now what I will do, I will create my own code. So what I'm doing is I will give the background color to each cell, and I will keep the width of the cell as the as the value in that particular cell. So let's go forward. So what I will do, in the properties, I will create another property at the top. So this is text, so I will create width. I want to create the width and type is of string. So done. Now I will come to this ts file. Now what will be the width of my color, that of my div? So over here what I'm doing is, instead of this cell is there, and now inside this what I'm doing is I will remove this is the properties.text. I will remove. Inside this I've created one more div, and I will set the background color for this particular div. Another thing is, I don't want to use this particular background color. I want to use a different background color, and my background color will be this gray. So I've used this hexadecimal code, and width of this div is 100 pixel, and I will create one more div. I will name it as actual, and over here I will keep as background color, I will keep any color, I'll say orange. This is my background color. So this is done. Now what I have to do is, for this div I will keep the class name is styles dot actual. So this is my div. So now this div will give me the background color, and now I have to pass this value over here, and the value is $event dot field value. So what I can do is, also I won't be creating any new property, so I will remove this width. Okay, and I will go to this ts file. In the ts file I will be removing this dot properties dot sample text. What I want only the field value, $event dot field value. From the text I will get it. Now over here I will come and I will say this dot properties and this dot, I have to put the curly braces, this is the basics of React, this dot props dot, and I will get the text. So now in the text I am getting the field value, from where I am getting inside this ts file. This is the text event dot field value I put, and this text I pass it from here, and I am getting this text from here, like this is my text. So I've created this property text, then in the ts file in the text I have taken the field value and I have passed in the component. So I got the text. Now what I will do, I'll save the code. Let me see now how my code is appearing, how my changes are appearing. Reload message. I will refresh my page. So over here you can see the changes. I'm getting this orange color for each of my field, but the thing is, the entire cell structure is orange. I want to differentiate the progress of my each project with the help of this color. So what I will be doing, I will be setting the width of this div same as this progress of my project. If the progress is 20%, so width will be 20, 40 and same. So what I have to do, the only thing I have to do is I have to set the width of this column, width of this div. I have to set and the width will be dynamic. Width will be different for each particular cell. So I cannot even set the width in my SCSS file. So let's say if I set the width as 40%, so again it will be same for all the cell. I want my width is dynamic, it will be different for each particular cell. So what I will do over here, I'll create one style constant. I'll say style, I'll say width colon, and what should be the width? Width will be this dot properties dot text. So now width is 20, and again I have to append the pixel. So it should be, now this is my width, and inside this div what I'm going to do is, so class name, and now I want to give the inline styling. So style is equal to style is equal to style, style is equal to style. So now guys, my code is ready. So what I'm doing, I've done nothing. I've just created a div. I've set the background color. In this actual, I'm setting this background color as orange, and I pass this field value. This is event.field value which I passed from my TS file. Now I want to set the dynamic width, which should be the same for each particular cell. Whatever the value in the cell is, width should be the same as the value in the cell. So what I did, I've created one object over here, style. Now with this dot properties dot text, and I've appended the pixel. So now I will go and refresh my page, and now you can see it is working perfectly fine. Now I can see the progress: 20, 40, this is 35, this is 77, and this is 100%. So guys, this is how my code is working. Now if I press F12 and if I select this particular cell, you can see width 100 pixel. If I select any other div, let's say this 20%, you can see over here width is 20 pixel. So this is how my code is working. So guys, this is just a basic idea which I want to give, like how you can use your field customizer in your modern SharePoint. So this is done.
So guys, now we will start with the deployment process, how to deploy your field customizer. So as usual, there are these three commands to deploy your field customizer: gulp build -ship, gulp bundle -ship, gulp package -solution -ship. So with the help of these three commands, we are going to deploy our field customizer. Another important thing over deployment is that there are two types of deployment, or you can say we can deploy at two levels: deployment for a particular site collection, a deployment for the entire tenant, which is called tenant wide deployment. So in case of field customizer, please note this point: in case of field customizer, tenant wide deployment is not supported. We can only deploy our field customizer to a particular site collection. So the proof for that is, if you go to the Visual Studio Code under SharePoint, under this asset folder, you could see there is only a single file, that is element.xml. Whereas in case of application customizer, there were two files, element.xml and client-side instance.xml. Let me show you that also. So I'll go to my folder structure, and this is our field customizer. So I will show you in the file explorer only. If I go inside SharePoint assets, under that you could see these two files are present, element.xml and client-side instance.xml. This is my application customizer. And whereas in case of our field customizer, there is only one file present, element.xml. So client-side instance.xml is used to deploy your application customizer for the across the tenant, that is tenant wide deployment. So in field customizer, tenant wide deployment is not supported. First thing. Second thing is, now we will be using these three commands: gulp build, gulp bundle, gulp package -solution. The moment I will run this command, gulp package -solution, so package -solution file will come into picture, which is present under the config folder. So if I open this package -solution, let me do one thing. I will close all other tabs, and right now we will be working with these two tabs because I have to explain you few important concepts. One is this gulp package -solution. Another important file over here is element.xml. So what is happening is, the moment I will run the command gulp package -solution, this file will come into picture. A gulp will read all the commands, all these steps from package -solution. So in this you could see I have the name of the solution, ID, version number, include client side assets true, and this feature. So this is important thing. So what is happening is, whenever I am doing the deployment, so inside gulp package -solution, I have this feature, and inside this you could see under this asset tag, what we are doing is we are using this element.xml file. And now if I open and see element.xml file, what is there is element field ID is there, name, display name, type is number, so a minimum value, required is false, group column, and my client side component ID. So the logic is, whenever I will run gulp package -solution, it is going to use this element.xml file, and it will create a site column using this element.xml file. Site column name will be SPFx %, display name will be %, type will be number, and all the other properties, and it will be present inside a group called SPFx column. So whenever I will deploy this field customizer to a particular site collection, on that particular site collection, a site column group will get created, SPFx column, and under that group SPFx percentage column, site column will get created. And over here also we are also giving this client side component ID, and my site column will get binded to this client side component, means it will get binded to this particular field customizer. So whenever I will use that site column, my field customizer will work on that particular site column. So this is the entire logic when whenever I will run these three commands directly. So this is going to happen. Now there's another case. What if I want to run a field customizer to a particular site column? That means a site column is already existing, it already exists in my site collection, and I want to deploy my field customizer on that. What I have to do in that case? So in that case, another concept which you could which could strike your mind is that I will change the name and display name over here. I will change the field ID and I will deploy. Means I will provide all the details of the existing site column, that is the ID, name, display name, type, and all that group, and I will deploy. So you must be thinking that you will deploy this field customizer. Client side component ID is already there and it will bind this field customizer to the existing site collection, but that is not the case. It is not gonna work. So how to make your field customizer work with an existing site column? For that, what we have to do, we cannot use this element.xml file. What you can do, you can directly delete that element.xml file, or even if you don't delete it, it will not matter. Or if you will delete this file, you can also delete it from here. And then you have to simply deploy your field customizer. Just simply deploy your field customizer, and after that you have to run this PowerShell. I will explain each and everything. Right now I am just giving you the overview. So we have to run this PowerShell, and then our field customizer will get bind to the existing site column. So this is the procedure. Even if you don't delete anything, simply deploy this to an existing site collection, sorry, to an existing site column. It's not gonna work. Then also you have to run this PowerShell. So this is the entire procedure. So we are gonna split our deployment into two parts. Deployment as it is, that means my field customizer will create a new site column, and deployment to an existing site collection. So I will split my deployment into two parts. So I think I have explained it. So now let's start. What I will do, I will leave everything as it is. Just see, this is my package-solution file, title, description, ID, version, and it is using this element.xml file. It will create my SPPKG file under solution folder, and if I open the element.xml file, inside this element.xml file, it's gonna create column SPFx percentage. It's gonna create, and this is the ID of my field customizer. You can, if you want to just cross check it, go to the manifest file, and inside this manifest file you could see 3857. So this is the same ID. So now let's go forward. I will open the terminal and I will run the first command for the deployment process, that is gulp build -ship. And another thing which I've already explained multiple times, it's just that include client side assets. If it is true, then your package, your JavaScript assets will get packaged inside your SPPKG file, and it will be get hosted from the Office 365 CDN. If it is false, then what you have to do, then you have to you can host your JavaScript asset on a different CDN of your choice. So right now it is true for me. And if you have any doubt regarding this, I have explained in my earlier video multiple times, and I have explained in detail in my part 3 of the SPFx tutorial series. You can refer that video. So now I will go forward and run this command gulp build -ship. It will take some time. Gulp build command is completed now. I will run the next command, that is gulp bundle -ship. After this I will run the final command. So it is about to complete. So this is done. Now I will run the final command gulp package-solution -ship. Now after this we will upload our package to the app catalog. I am ready with my app catalog. This is my app catalog. I will upload the package in this, and then we will check for whether the new site column got created in the site column list. So I will open the site column. So I'm expecting a new right now over here you can see there's no group called SPFx column. So once I will upload the package for the field customizer, a new group should get created. So let's see. So this is also done. Now what I will do, I will upload the package. This is my package. I will reveal in File Explorer. So this is my package and this is my app catalog. So I'll simply drag and drop. So you can see this client-side solution will get content from the following domain, that is SharePoint Online. It means our JavaScript assets will get hosted from the Office 365 CDN. So I will click on deploy and I think it is deployed. So you can see a few seconds ago, enabled, valid app package, deployed, and tenant deployed is no. So now I will go and refresh my page for the site column. So this is my site column. I will refresh it. So you can see there is no site groups, new site group created over here because I have to add my field customizer in this site collection first. So I will go over here. I'll say add an app, and this is the name of my field customizer, code client side solution. You could see over here code client side solution. Let me just check in also, and we are already adding it over here. So you could see the deployment in the site collection is in progress. Let me refresh and try if it is done. So my deployment is ready. Now I will go and refresh my page for this site columns, and you could see over here a new group got created called SPFx column. Inside this there is a column named percentage which I created. Now what I will do, I will go back to my list. My list was first FC on which I was working. So in this I will be adding a new column. So I'll go to list settings and I have to add a new column. I'll say add from existing site column, SPFx columns, percentage. Okay. So now I have added the column to my list. I will add this particular item, edit, and I will give a percentage, let's say 20, and I will save. And you could see my field customizer is working. So guys, we are able to successfully deploy a field customizer on this site collection, but on a new site column, not on an existing site column. So let me just test it for you once again. So what I will do, I will simply put some values for it in this grid view, 40, 35, 77 and 100. So you can see my field customizer is working. Now I want to deploy my field customizer on an existing column, that is status. There's no need to deploy your field customizer again. What you have to do, you have to run a PowerShell script to bind the already deployed field customizer to an existing site column. For that, what I have to do is just open your SharePoint Online Management Shell. If it is not there, you can download it. You can just Google it. You can just browse it, SharePoint Online Management Shell, right click, run as administrator. And now what I will do, I will run this set of commands. So let me just copy and paste it these commands in my PPT. So over here I will paste it. In the important points I will put it. Or let me just create a new slide for you. So these are the commands, bind with an existing site column. So what you have to do, open your SharePoint Online Management Shell. So this is my PNP PowerShell script. So this is my PNP PowerShell script. I am using PNP PowerShell. For that, if you are using this PowerShell for the first time, you have to install the SharePoint PNP PowerShell online module. So install module, run this command for the first time only. If you are again, it's not like that every time you have to run this command. You have to just install this module for the first time in your machine. So just open your SharePoint Online Management Shell and install this module, SharePoint PNP PowerShell Online, and after that you can run this command. So I have already installed this module, so I will directly run this command. I will open the SharePoint Online Management Shell. So now before running this command, I will explain you what we are doing. First, we are getting the list title. So list title is get PNP list hyphen identity first FC. So this is first FC is my list title. After that we are getting the field, get PNP field list title. From here I am passing, and my column name is FC status. So let me just check the column name is status. So I will change the column name. I will run on an existing column called status. Now field dot client side component ID. Client side component ID, I told you can get it from your manifest file. Under source folder, go to manifest.json, and this is your ID. So I just bind it with the client side component ID, field.update, invoke PNP query. So what we will do, I will copy these commands and I will directly paste in my online management shell. So I pasted it and I'm getting an error because there is currently no connection yet. So it is giving you an error, no connection yet, use connect PNP online. So run your first command, connect PNP online. Connect hyphen PNP online. Now it will ask you for your URL and your credentials. So this is my URL and I will add this command in the PPT also, so that next time you are not gonna get any error. So this will be the complete list of commands. So this is also done, and now it will ask me for the credential. So I have entered my credentials. So now I am connected to my site. Now what I will do, I will run this script again. So now my script got ran successfully, it is executed successfully, you can see. Now I will go back to my site, I will refresh this page, and you could see my status column, my field customizer got binded with an existing column. So guys, with the help of a Visual Studio deployment, we cannot do it. We have to simply deploy your field customizer once. Just deploy your field customizer once. If you want a new site column, you can make use of the element.xml, which is present under your asset folder. You can use this if you want to create site column. Otherwise, just simply deploy your field customizer, delete this element.xml, or even if you don't delete it, it doesn't matter. If you want, you can delete it and delete this feature deployment also from here, and simply upload your file to the app catalog, add the field customizer into the site collection where you want to use the field customizer, and simply run this PowerShell and bind your field customizer with as many site column you want or list column you want. You can use this field customizer. So guys, with this I have completed the deployment process also. So in today's video we covered how we can create field customizer code. I have covered debugging, deployment to an existing field, and deployment to a new field. After that, these are the few important points. So, and this is the PowerShell which we can use to bind with an existing site column. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you have any doubt related to this video or any of our previous video, you can reach out to us through comments, or you can directly reach out to us through our official email ID, that is contactdstechmirror@gmail.com. I have created a group on Facebook called Modern SharePoint. You can find the link in the description box below. You can join that group also, and you can also follow me on Twitter. You can find my Twitter handle in the description box below. Thank you for watching this video. Till our next video, much love, keep learning. Thank you.